All the sisters of mercy, they are not departed or gone. They were waiting for me when I thought that I just can't go on. And they brought me their comfort, and later they brought me their song. Oh, I hope you run into them, you who've been traveling so long.
Trailblazer, adjudicator, leader, advocate, mother and wife, proud Marylander. There are so many ways to describe Chief Judge Mary Ellen Barbera.
To say she's a role model sort of doesn't really capture it, I think. You can't aspire to what you don't see.
She leads by example, and she inspires by example.
Chief Judge Barbera has the heart of a marathoner. She's always energetic and upbeat.
Everyone who has met you, studied under you, or served alongside you will agree that you have indeed spent your entire career doing great things for all the people of Maryland.
As long as you promise not to tell any of the other judges, I'll let you in on a secret. You were always our favorite.
Chief Judge Barbera's story begins in Baltimore. Born and raised in the working-class neighborhood of Hamden, her formal education is grounded in the city's Catholic schools, which she attended from first grade through high school. That educational foundation led her to pursue a career in teaching.
Here she is, this woman who grows up in a modest row home with her two brothers and her mother and father and grandfather, and walking to school up the street at St. Thomas Aquinas, and then going to Mercy High School, shortly after Mercy opened. So she has that background, and at the time she, I think, thought, well, I'll become a teacher.
After graduating from Towson State College with honors, Chief Judge Barbera began her teaching career with Baltimore City Public Schools.
You've called it a life-affirming job, and those years at Patapsco Elementary would later serve as an important reminder that the law influences and affects each and every one of us in very real and personal ways.
Her professional acumen owes so much to teaching, but there was another vocation calling to her. While working full-time and raising two children, she enrolled in law school. Balancing work and family with a full slate of evening classes, Chief Judge Barbera graduated from the University of Maryland School of Law in 1984.
It took a lot of courage, I bet, to take on those challenges, added challenges of, hey, let's go to law school at night, while she was raising me and my sister, and of course teaching. So, along with the skill and the desire, what was the courage?
After passing the bar, Chief Judge Barbera joined the Maryland Office of the Attorney General, serving first as an Assistant Attorney General and then as the Deputy Chief of the office's Criminal Appeals Division.
But I particularly recall working with Mary Ellen on Supreme Court cases. Now, Maryland is not a large state. We perhaps have 2% of the total population of the country, but we had during our tenure 13 cases that went to the Supreme Court, which kept us very busy. You are a credit to the law practice. You certainly are a credit to our office, which is so proud of you. And we wish you all the best in this stage of your retirement.
In 1998, she became Deputy Legal Counsel for the Office of Legal Counsel and Regulatory Affairs, serving under then-Governor Paris Glendening.
In my view, Chief Judge Barbera's real strength as the leader of the judiciary was her ability to combine policy and politics. She was part of a larger team that worked diligently and effectively to implement policies that continue to promote the welfare and protect Marylanders today. Mary Ellen played a very significant role in my ongoing efforts to diversify the bench. It was therefore a certain poetic justice when I appointed her to the Court of Special Appeals in January 2002. We are here tonight to celebrate not just the first woman Chief Judge of Maryland Court of Appeals, but a person who, in the face of so many challenges, from bail reform to COVID pandemic, has helped Maryland move forward.
During her career as an attorney, she met her husband, Judge Gary Baer. They married in 2000, and over the last 20 years, the two have supported each other as friends, confidants, and colleagues.
We talk about law, we talk about cases, we talk about legal issues, but we also talk about political issues and social issues. We talk about our children and grandchildren.
Chief Judge Barbera never really gave up teaching. Often working in tandem with Judge Baer, she served as an adjunct professor at American University Washington College School of Law, the University of Baltimore School of Law, the Judicial College of Maryland, and for the Maryland State Bar Association, along with serving as a lecturer in state, local, and special educational programs through her time on the Court of Appeals.
Well, I would say she was very engaging when she was with students. I think the school teacher in her came out, and she was always very interested. She's a fabulous listener, which is a great quality for a judge. And so I saw her on many occasions interacting with students.
She was just the most dynamic, vivacious, enthusiastic person.
In 2002, Chief Judge Barbera was appointed to the Court of Special Appeals as an associate judge.
You were always the voice of reason in the room. You were interested in the faithful application of the law. You didn't take sides that were in any way unreasonable or deviating from what the law led you to. You had and have grace and diplomacy in how you interact with your judicial colleagues. And may I say, you also had the patience of an elementary school teacher. And it may be that should be a prerequisite for being an appellate judge.
Judge Barbera was appointed to the Court of Appeals in Maryland in 2008. Then in 2013, appointed Chief Judge, becoming the first woman in the court's 300-year history to hold the position. From her first days leading the court, Chief Judge Barbera made it her mission to enhance the institution's ability to provide equal, fair, and timely administration of justice.
We had a backlog of cases, of opinions that needed to be filed and things like that. And she took great pains to get that taken care of, getting the backlog taken care of, and she put in guidelines and requirements of the court, which included herself, to have opinions done in a timely manner, and that still is in place today.
Chief Judge Barbera championed the underprivileged, children, and the poor in her pursuit for equal and fair justice.
We've also deeply appreciated your leadership, your zeal in seeking equal justice. And just two examples: your work to halt the practice of shackling juveniles in courtrooms, and most especially, your efforts to ensure that people are not held in jail in Maryland merely because they're poor. The rule adopted by the Court of Appeals under your leadership has meant thousands fewer people in jail every single year.
As the first woman to serve as Chief Judge of the Court of Appeals, Judge Barbera is both a role model and mentor to countless women in law. She has also advocated for women of color and the LGBTQ community.
Learning from her and how she advanced in her own career, right? She was a school teacher at first, and then she in her second career became a lawyer. And so she's really set an example of what hardworking, intelligent, strong women really can do and what they can achieve. And I really feel like I have taken that through my own career and really pushed myself and tried to advance and set an example for those to continue to come behind us.
Chief Judge Barbera, you are an inspiration. You are an inspiration of a groundbreaker, innovator. And I love what you symbolize for Maryland and for young women in general.
I know that she was active in being there when it was prior to my even being active, probably before I was even a member of the PAR, that she was active in helping to get the association created under former President Skirty, and Circuit Court Judge Avery was also active in that.
Judge Barbera has been very supportive of the Alliance and the community over the years. She's come to several of our events. As Chief Judge, she can choose to go to lots of different things, and she gets invited to a lot of things, but she's continually chosen to support the Alliance. And we had the pleasure and honor of having her at our 40th anniversary a few years ago. So she's always supported the Alliance, and we're very thankful for that.
Chief Judge Barbera also advocated for the Lawyers Assistance Program, which supports mental wellness in the legal community.
Judge Barbera advocated on behalf of the Lawyers Assistance Program. We had to turn people away year after year because we always ran out of funds, and Judge Barbera was vital in helping us to procure $500,000 to be able to serve the legal community.
In the summer of 2020, following the murder of George Floyd and the subsequent national and international protests over police brutality and social justice, Chief Justice Barbera again met the challenge of the day. In June of that year, she wrote and published a statement of equal justice under the law, calling for Maryland's legal community to ensure fair treatment for all.
It's 2 years in the issues that this country has dealt with. She has put the judiciary in a position to be a leader in social justice here in the state of Maryland, where, to me, social justice starts in the justice system.
And collaborative efforts with the bar were described each time Chief Judge Barbera addressed Maryland lawyers and MSBA leadership as justice partners. From the beginning of her term as Chief Judge and encouraging pro bono legal services to adopting limited scope representation rules, to effective messagings about language services, to expanding educational outreach and website resources, and not to mention electronic and remote communications during a pandemic. Now, upon her creation of the Equal Justice Committee, that committee is reaching out to the bar to listen, to learn how concerns for racism, sexism, other characteristic discrimination may affect fairness and impartiality in judicial process.
So Chief, your dedication to developing principled policy and building consensus toward the good, and then to even better, makes you such an extraordinary leader. You're a woman who has helped redefine leadership. Your commitment to equal justice under law for all and to access to justice for all.
Like the rest of the world, Chief Judge Barbera and the Maryland judicial system faced an unprecedented crisis as COVID-19 threatened the state in early 2020. Over the next 18 months, she led the process to safely reestablish the state's legal apparatus to ensure her mission of efficient and open access to justice.
I don't know, I think she's been rock solid. I mean, she's, no one planned for anything like this. I don't think you can plan for what we've all been through, but what she was required to do, and she was just a true leader.
Chief Judge Barbera, yours was a steady hand on the tiller during the COVID crisis. I benefited tremendously from your advice and perspective as you navigated COVID at the helm of the state courts.
Together, her strong actions from the bench, providing unbiased access to justice, advocating for women, minorities, the poor, and children, steering the court through a national emergency, and preparing the judiciary for the future, have inspired colleagues, co-workers, and mentees.
Chief Judge Barbera has just been an amazingly strong voice for civil legal aid in the state of Maryland and access to justice for all Marylanders.
You enhance access to justice in some way every day, by endeavoring to produce a better system of justice, whether on your own initiative or collectively with your colleagues. Your mission of providing for fairness, effectiveness, and efficiency is now rooted in the daily activities of the judiciary.
Most recently, her leadership guiding the judiciary through the unprecedented tumults of the COVID-19 pandemic highlighted her determination and creativity in the face of significant adversity. Regardless of the issue of the day, her goal was always the same: to accomplish our core mission of providing a fair and efficient justice system to those we serve.
During her tenure, Judge Barbera and the Court of Appeals has exercised judgment in a manner that has inspired and retained the public's trust and confidence. That was reflected in the public's reaction to the court's pandemic response. Another example is her response to the crisis of confidence that this country's judiciaries faced a little more than a year ago, after the murder of George Floyd.
I came to know her even better when I became a chief judge in 2017, and she welcomed me to the Conference of Chief Justices, and she was assigned as my mentor chief judge. Being women chief judges from close neighboring jurisdictions, Chief Judge Barbera's friendship and collegiality has meant a great deal to me. This friendship and collegiality came to the forefront during the recent and ongoing COVID-19 coronavirus crisis that hit all of our courts. When our courts in DC were trying to determine the best ways to proceed on many issues, I reached out to my friend and colleague, Chief Judge Barbera. She always took the time to return my calls and to talk and to exchange ideas. And as I said to her many times, I borrowed freely from some of her ideas and suggestions. Chief Judge Barbera, I wish you all the best in your retirement. And I know that you'll continue to be as active and contributing to the issues that you believe in and that you have fought for throughout your career.
Chief Judge Barbera has also left an indelible imprint on her extended professional community. Beyond just the hours working together, she's touched lives, from officiating weddings of friends and mentees to overseeing an army of newborn grand clerks. That infrastructure will always be there. Now, though, instead of overseeing court proceedings and writing legal briefs, her days will be filled with weekends at the beach, international travel, and most importantly, more time with loved ones.
I want her take it easy. I know she's been working really hard for most of her life. I hope to spend more time with her. I hope she continues to impact other people's lives, because she's always been a very kind and inspiring person, and I hope she can radiate that onto other people.
And to be that kind of role model to my children, to me, I mean, she has shown me the path of how to be a working mother, how to raise my children, how to be successful, and to work hard and strive to get what you want out of life. And I can't be more proud of her and can't be more excited for what lies ahead for her.
Well, well, well. After all of those years of teaching and learning, it seems you won't need these anymore.
Congratulations on your retirement, Chief.
Congratulations, Chief.
We'll keep turning these into these.
Congratulations on retirement, Chief. Turns out there is no issue with your computer. You were on mute the whole time.
All the best from JIS.
In more ways than one, you are a groundbreaking Chief Judge.
Thanks for always trusting us with the ball.
Thank you, Chief, for your incredible support for programs.
And you put us on the map for access to justice.
And mediation.
And problem-solving courts.
And juvenile and family services.
And research. We'll keep the ball moving.
Congratulations!
Chief Judge Barbera, District Court Headquarters Operations would like to congratulate you on your retirement and thank you for your unwavering commitment to the rollout of MDEC.
And Administrative Services will always appreciate your guidance during the pandemic and all those administrative orders.
Congratulations on your retirement, Chief. Thank you for your unwavering commitment to justice.
Congratulations, Chief. And don't worry, we'll keep evolving and resolving.
Congratulations, Chief. We will miss you. And don't worry, we will keep the post office in business.
Congratulations, Chief, from all the District Court Commissioners. We're going to keep the ball rolling.
Chief, thanks for trusting us to keep the balls in the air. It has been a pleasure working with you. Thank you for leaving behind a legacy of excellence and service.
Thank you for the opportunities
and keeping us in the action.
Congratulations, Chief.
Thank you for being so easy to work with on video shoots. Your hair looks great. And now these folks have something to say.
Chief, we appreciate your ability to keep up with the prompter.
But what we really appreciate is all the outtakes.
Let's see if we can get through that sentence. Please stay safe and stay, oh shoot, sorry. Okay, laughing. Good afternoon, leaders and members of the Baltimore County Bar Association.
On behalf of all of us, you've done a great job, Chief.
Chief, it's been a true honor for all of us to have worked with you for the past 8 years. Thank you.
Congratulations.